Three, two, one. What's going on, everyone? I'm Ben. Welcome back to the One Piece versus 4K podcast, where we compare the One Piece 4Kids animated to the Funimation dub, sometimes sub, throw in comparisons to the manga. We're back again today for episode 51, which is also episode 51 from the One Piece. But we'll get into that. But before we do, what's been going on in the world of One Piece, Rom?
So since we left off, I think I mentioned that there was this big event that was happening. It kind of reached. It was kind of like near the conclusion of like all the battles and stuff. And sure enough, it finally ended. And yeah, the big battles have finally concluded. Uh, Now we're kind of in this next stage of like um, kind of basically um, like kind of like what happened in the Kokiyashi Village arc is that, or the Arlong Park arc is that we have the big battles and then there's the celebration after. So I think we're about to head into the celebration portion of this. We're not completely sure because this arc has been so insane with all the stuff that's come out, all the revelations that have come out. But right now, it's like the big battle of this arc has finally concluded, and I think it was just because of the release schedule. It felt forever, and people were starting to get fatigued. But like when we read it in its entirety, like if we were to read the entire like manga chapters in its entirety, I'm sure the pacing would have been fine. It's just that because of all the breaks that were needed to be taken, it felt forever. Even though like I think it was fine because when they reached this point, it was chapter 1000, and so this whole battle took 50 chapters. And while it may seem like it took forever, in retrospect of the uh, reputation of the character that was involved, of the characters that were involved, I think it would have been fine. The pacing was probably fine. It was just the chapter release pacing was probably the reason why people were starting to get a little fatigued. And it wasn't just this. Even in the previous arc, I wasn't reading the manga at the time in the previous arc and Whole Cake Island arc, but the big battle in that arc, people apparently said that when the battle was going on, people were getting fatigued, but then when the battle ended and people went back and reread it, they're like, oh, it was actually paced pretty well. It was just the release that was like kind of slow. It felt forever. So I think that's going to be the situation with this one as well. So that battle has finally ended, but the animation just started that battle, so that's gonna be interesting. But the thing is, so actually a lot of things are going on with One Piece. I'm not sure if I talked about this before. So there is the new One Piece film Red that I
Yeah,
think
you
is supposed
did
to.
mention that.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out. I think this year. I don't think it's gonna be next year. I think it's gonna be like August or September, maybe October or December. I'm not really sure. It's gonna be released sometime around there, from what I remember. And apparently the animation is going to take a break from, and these are all rumors, none of this is like set in stone, but there is like this rumor that like the animation is going to have like a couple of episodes kind of dedicated as a lead up to this movie. um Basically like fillers that they put in to kind of like build up like the story into this movie. So kind of looking forward to this movie because, and I think with all the discussions about pausing this arc, the animation to in the anime to kind of build up to this to the movie, I think a lot of people thought that the movie would be a canon movie like Demon Slayer and stuff, and because Oda is actually involved in this movie, and I think it's the first movie that he's actually involved in, and so there were like a lot of speculations about it potentially being canon, like yeah, it potentially being canon and involved in the story, and maybe it makes like a big thing in the story. But with everything that's come out since, it's looking more and more like it's actually it's going to be a non-canon movie, just like a quick money grab kind of thing. Let's call what is it? Let's call a spade a spade. Yeah, that's kind of been what's going on in the One Piece world. The big battles have finally ended. We're gonna get 3 straight weeks of solid chapters post conclusion of the war. I'm pretty sure. Also, this upcoming week, there's gonna be a chapter, and they said no break. So the following week we'll get another chapter. So 3 straight weeks of chapters. So I am expecting a break after that following chapter, but we'll just have to see. So yeah, that's kind of been what's been going on. Like the battles have finally concluded, and we're kind of getting to that next phase. So very excited because this one character, basically one of the character, had to change their physical appearance, and we're about to find out what he actually looks like. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see him, because I think that's the next big anticipation. But there is also this other anticipation about how these two characters, when they finally meet, how is this character going to react to this other character? So that's going to be interesting. And it kind of feels weird to say all this because I don't want to spoil anyone, especially those who decide to pick up One Piece after they watch our podcasts. I don't want to spoil it. So yeah, maybe not now. Maybe in the future. Maybe this will get like a cult following, and people will start to watch it, and they'll start to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. So yeah, that's kind of been what's been going on with One Piece. What's been going on with you, Ben?
Not much. Just been helping my wife out. Twitch.tv/the Laura Bear. Just been helping her out with her streams. Today was her final charity stream. Um,
Oh, right. Is it just $20 to St. Jude's? Like, do you guys still have it up, or like,
yeah, it's
is it?
still up.
Okay, cool. I need to
Yeah,
go donate to that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it'll still be up even tomorrow, but I mean, like the campaign is like a thing that St. Jude does through the entire month of May. So like they're kind of like trying to get everything by the end of today. Um, but yeah, we were able to raise over $2,500 this year.
Nice.
It last year we raised about the same, but this year it was just so much different. I don't know what it was about last year, but like a lot more people seem to be like participating, and a lot more people like were like like helping, like coming to Laura's channel, just random people that have never come. People were like rating her with like 200, 300 people at certain times, but like this year, like it was just very like it was a lot slower. um and I really don't know why. But yeah, I mean it was we did a lot of streams, and then I streamed with Laura a lot over this past weekend, and just wrapping things up, because she streamed she for this past for like the past 7 days she streamed every day.
Oh
um,
wow.
yeah, so she was really trying to raise as much money as she could. But yeah, I mean we raised a lot of money for St. Jude, so it was great. And now we're just gonna be relaxing for the next couple days. She's taken off from stream for a couple days. And then like this coming weekend, we're actually going to meet some of the mods in her Discord and some of the mods in her Twitch chat, like her Twitch channel.
Oh
So
nice.
yeah, so we're gonna go. We just like randomly made a joke. Like I came up with the joke that we should meet. Like I said last year that we should meet this year at a Sonic's, like the food restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said that as a joke because we were talking about Sonics one time, and two of the mods were like, "Oh yeah, I haven't had Sonics in forever." So I was like, "All right, well, let's a year from now, let's meet." Um, so we're driving 6 hours to North Carolina, which is kind of like a halfway point for some of the people. Um, and yeah, we're gonna meet all but two of the mods that are part of Laura's Discord.
Oh nice.
So yeah, it'll be fun. We're gonna play some video games, go to some video game stores and stuff like that. So have that to look forward to. I'll be off this Friday because that's when we'll be driving to the hotel uh, in the middle of North Carolina.
Oh man. How far? Oh yeah, yeah. You said 6 hour drive. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was like how far is that and stuff. But yeah. Nice, dude. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's actually a pretty cool thing. Getting to kind of meet some people from across state and stuff. Actually,
Yeah,
are you guys
we've
gonna go
we've
like
known him for a
golfing?
year, so it's gonna be fun. What was that?
Are, are you guys gonna go like golfing, like the mini golf
We
spots?
might. We thought about that. There's actually like a really like crazy like mini golf place near there. So we might do that as well.
Yeah, yeah. That'll be really fun.
Yeah,
Really fun activity.
yeah. It should be exciting. And it'll be nice to just take well, one day off from work, and then I got another vacation planned in July, the beginning of July. So yeah, it's this is a really weird work week for me, just because I was off yesterday for Memorial Day, and I'm coming back for 3 days and then getting off on Friday. Um,
Yeah, so it's like tomorrow. It's like tomorrow's like I mean, it's kind of weird because tomorrow is a Wednesday, but it'll feel like a Thursday because the following Thursday will feel like a Friday. Even though it's like yeah, it's kind of weird.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, but that's pretty much what we've been up to.
yeah. Still like raising was like so far for the year 2500.
Well, yeah, if you, I mean, like, just if you want to even count the amount of money that we, like, so Laura did another charity stream at the beginning, like in March,
Mm-hmm.
and she raised $2,000 for American Cancer Society. So she's raised a lot of money for cancer research this year, which is great.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah, I think there's also like the children's what was it like
Miracle Network,
not the children's. I mean, this
yeah,
isn't cancer research. It's more like Children's International. It's like this charity where basically it's like one of those like sponsoring children kind of thing. And there's like different things where it's like you can donate like one time or you can donate repeatedly or something like that.
gotcha.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, a lot of stuff for cancer research. That's awesome. Really, yeah. Let's yeah, really good job. Congratulations. That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's. I mean, Laura takes on the most of the responsibility, but like it's a whole. I mean, it's a whole month process, so it's I'm glad we made as much money as we did, but now I'm relieved that we can relax some.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, how many hours were you guys streaming during those 7 days? How many hours a day?
I only streamed with her for basic. Well, I streamed with her on Saturday, Sunday, and wait, Saturday. What the heck? I can't even remember anymore. I think no, I can't even remember. But I streamed for like 4 or 5 hours 2 days in a row, and then yesterday I streamed for like seven, I think. But Laura has been streaming for about 10 hours a day.
Yeah,
So
that's like a
yeah,
regular like
a
job and
job. Yeah,
streamer schedule.
yeah. So it's been nuts. But yeah. I
I
guess we
guess
should get into the episode here.
yeah, yeah. I was just gonna say like it kind of goes to show like how strenuous like it is to kind of like stream 10 hours a day, like 5 to 6 days a week or something that like these professional streamers do. It's like a lot of like fatigue. Like it just it takes it out. If you think you don't really think like it takes a lot out, but it really does.
Dude,
It's
you're
like
talking like that. That's another thing. You're talking like the entire time, pretty much.
yeah. I mean,
Like imagine
usually
talking for 10 hours, like just nonstop. Like oh my gosh.
especially like if you're playing a game on repeat over and over and over. I mean,
Yeah.
certain games I kind of get like how you can get lost into like all the Uncharted games, like because I told you like the first time like I played like 12 hours straight, but like I wasn't talking, I was like letting the game kind of play,
Yeah.
but like there was this one time I was staying with my parents and we were getting the carpets changed, so I wasn't able to do any work because just hammering everything. So my parents are like, yeah, just go ahead and play some video games or something. So I was playing Madden like at the time, and even still today. Like, I was playing a lot of Madden, and I was really into Madden, and I played for like 8 hours straight. And after that day, I didn't play Madden for like a while, like
Yeah,
literally,
because it's really repetitive.
basically, yeah. And it was like I played like a full season and stuff. It was like, yeah, it was, yeah, I can definitely. So yeah, it's so all these streamers who like stream like 10 to 12 hours a day, or even more for some, and like consecutive, like 5 to 6 days a week. Yeah, it's like, oof, man, it's a very big physical effort. I guess it is something that they probably like when you start to do it for months on end. I guess your body will adjust, but yeah,
Yeah,
it, it
she
is.
worked herself up, and actually her body did adjust a lot. Like, cause she started, she typically does about 4 or 5 hours a day, and that's 3 times a week. So she
Yeah,
started trying to push it to like 6, and then over time she got to 8, and then she just started doing blanket 10. Um,
yeah.
but
It,
yeah, dude, I like for like huge big time streamers too. Like another thing that a lot of people don't realize is like they literally are like they literally like sign contracts and stuff. So like they have no choice. They have to stream for that set amount of time.
yeah, yeah. It's like
And that's when it becomes like that's when it's like a real job. And like, dude, that gotta be stressful as hell. Like honestly, like there was like a bunch of controversies earlier this year where people were like getting like you know people that were paid by Twitch, right? They
yeah,
like the top streamers, they were getting banned for like showing TV, like they're like doing reacting to TV shows, but they're like had the TV show up on the screen, and they're
yeah.
getting banned for that. But my whole thing is, I'm honestly like, I kind of think that they wanted to. I kind of think they knew that would happen, but they did it on purpose just so they could get a break.
Oh, okay. Yeah, kind of like yeah, calculated chaos or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, because oh man, like sometimes it just seems like these people need a break. But
yeah. It's insane. Especially like yeah, it's like something that like people just don't know like how strenuous it is. Like I think when like Ninja had that big Drake stream and like Twitch really popped off at the time, I remember watching like 1 second. Yeah, I remember like after Ninja had that huge breakout with Drake with the Drake stream, Logan Paul tried to like get on Twitch, and like he just failed. Like he just like failed miserably because it's like because his energy is like all hype all the time kind of thing at the time. I don't know if he ever mellowed out since, because I don't really watch his content, but like it's like he couldn't sustain that, and like immediately like his energy started to get low, and like the other thing is that he was like really like shit at these games. So it was like he was constantly getting killed. I mean, I think he was playing Fortnite because Fortnite was all the craze at the time, and dude wasn't winning any games. It was like it was such a disaster.
wow,
And yeah, it's like I think people start to yeah, I think people tend to like really underestimate how much it is to be like a streamer.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, cause like I stream, but I only stream for fun, and like pretty much all I can do is 4 hours, and like that's like when I'm like nearing over the 4 hour mark, I'm just like I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that.
But yeah, all right, let's get into the episode here. So this is episode 51 from the 4 Kids version. My episode title was called "The Big Climb."
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So it's right. This is like kind of episode 83, and it could be part of episode 84.
Okay, yeah, we'll figure it out at the end where it ends up. So yeah, the episode opens up with Wapple charging Luffy on top of his hippo. He tells Luffy to wait up, and Luffy says he knows him. Wapple says yes, he's the one he tried to flatten with the avalanche. and he has a major craving and is about to get his fill. Luffy says he has to go find a doctor, and the jester guy wishes him good luck. By the way, I still think it's crazy how none of these people's names have been revealed. Um, I mean, maybe they have in your version, but they have not in mine.
I think they have, and I think he actually like said his name, but I forget what it is. I forgot to write down what it is too.
Yeah, I had to. Anyways, unless I missed him say it one time, but like I keep like every time Wapple's referring to the people, he's like literally just directly talking to them, never saying their name. Um, so yeah, but Luffy then begins walking off as Wapple tells the jester to write down. Um, Wapple tells the jester to write down, "Just looking for a doctor without his okay will bring forth his enforcer's wrath, and they better go get all three of them." The jester's, yeah.
Oh no, the rule is different. I mean, yeah, he did say okay. He tells the guy, he's like, new rule: anyone who ignores the king gets executed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, got it. So that's a little bit more hardcore.
Yeah.
So the jester says he's going to take out Nami first, as the Afro dude says. He says the smash ball is about to drop. Um, and then Luffy dodges them and runs off to protect his friends. And then the jester starts firing shots from his bow at Luffy, but he keeps dodging them. Wapple says there's no escape in his winter kingdom. Luffy believes he's lost him in the snow, only to discover that the hippo ended up in front of him, and it, tries to take a bite out of him. Luffy then dodges both of the enforcers' attacks as the rabbits show up, and then begin beating up, Wapple's crew. Wapple then says no fair, as the enforcers say they've never befriended a human before, when we realize they only have befriended Luffy because he saved the baby mother from the avalanche. The rabbit flexes and lets Luffy go, and then they all surround Wapple and his crew. Uh, Luffy continues to trek his way up the hill, carrying both Sanji and Nami as he begins growing weary of all the wind pushing him back. He reaches the peak and realizes he has to start climbing it. He ties up Nami in his arms and uses his teeth to hold up Sanji as he climbs. It then cuts. Yeah, that. So is this pretty similar to here?
There's like a couple of changes. So,
Okay.
basically, yeah. So they attack Luffy, but then, I don't know if they cut this part out of your part, but basically, when they're attacking Luffy and Luffy's about to attack, he remembers Sanji telling Luffy that if Luffy attacks those guys, Nami's gonna feel it. So he tells Luffy to not attack. So Luffy remembers this, and that's why he starts to dodge the attack. And so obviously when Luffy ran away, when you said Waffle said something about like Snow Kingdom, it was actually different. Waffle said something like, "It's time he learned what a battle in snow is like." And just when Luffy thinks he lost him, then the two guys, the Jester and the other guy, comes in and they do this attack called this Snow Powder Makeup attack. And yes, Luffy continues to dodge them, and then you see the bunnies, Loppins, uh, come after the two guys. Luffy actually calls them polar bears. So obviously, it's Loppins, and yeah, Luffy. So the Loppins, basically, they kind of flex, and then they start to attack Wapple and his crew. And yeah, you get to the bear. You get to like the base of the mountain that Luffy has to climb, and yeah. So
Okay. So then it cuts to Vivi, and she's looking for Usopp, only to discover he's also been buried in the snow. She pulls him out by his nose and asks him to say something. He says he was having a great dream where he was in a worm tunnel walking towards a white light. He then says, "What's that? I shouldn't be scared. I'll walk closer to you, Grandma." We then see Vivi punch Usopp in the face a million times before he finally snaps out of it. Now we see him walking with all kinds of bruises in his face, and he kind of looks like a big, like meatball.
Mhm.
Um, Usopp then continues to say, "Thanks a lot, princess. Whatever you did worked." As it seems like he has like a concussion or whatever, because he just keeps saying, "Thanks again, princess." Um,
Oh,
then they come across Zolo, and he jumps out of the snow, scaring them, asking them what happened. Usopp says, "Hi, Zolo." And he replies, "Hey, Vivi." And he can't tell who Usopp is because of his face. And then he notices his nose. He's like, "Oh, hi, Usopp." It then cuts to, yeah, so that's that situation. It ends up cutting back to Wapple. Anything different happened there?
yeah. Before they cut back to Vivi, did Luffy's jacket fall off?
I didn't notice that if it did. Oh, yeah,
So
yeah, I think
basically,
he. Oh, actually, I think that actually comes up um, where he almost trips. I think that comes up ahead of time, like up here.
oh yeah. So basically, like Luffy reaches the base of the mountain. He starts to climb, and it's like he's climbing barefoot. And maybe they kind of like changed up the scenes a little bit, but basically like he starts to climb, and then the wind picks up and it knocks his coat off, and then that's when it shifts to Vivi waking up after the avalanche. And so this is actually pretty funny. So yeah, so she sees Usopp's nose and like lifts him off, and Usopp in a daze, he doesn't talk about a wormhole towards the white light. He talks about how he was just in like this like comfortable field of like a field of flowers with a beautiful. I think it's like a beautiful river or lake or something, a river or lake or stream or something. And then he talks about something about 74,000 soldiers, his 74,000 like crew members or something. And then at that point, Usopp is still in and out, and then Vivi slaps him awake, and Usopp, you see he's like you said, visibly swollen, and the thing is, where he says, in I guess they made the change, but Usopp talks about how he's like, oh, it feels like my face is swollen. It feels like I'm having like a lot of pain. He doesn't know that Vivi slapped him awake. So he's like, "Oh, my face is all swollen." And Vivi's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's because of the cold. Yeah, it's just different winter conditions. Your body's not like used to the conditions in the island." Or so she tries to wave off like all his concerns or something. And as they're walking, Vivi steps on a mound, and then it like lifts up, and that's where you see Zoro. And the thing is, Zoro also wakes up saying that he just had a dream where he was in the field of flowers.
Oh,
So it was like both him and Usopp were in the same field of flowers.
oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then Usopp thinks it's a monster, but then it turns out to be Zoro, um, who finally wakes up, and yeah, yeah. So I guess that's kind of where we're at in the situation. So I just wanted to say the Field of Flowers thing because yeah, it was funny because they made sure that like both Usopp and Zoro they both said the Field of Flowers, and we're not sure if everybody actually caught that they both said Field of Flowers. It was actually something that someone mentioned once in like a YouTube comment that oh yeah no like Zoro also pointed the Field of Flowers that Usopp mentioned. So I was like oh okay, but yeah, go ahead.
Interesting. Yeah, so it then cuts to Wapple and his crew as we see they've defeated all the rabbits. Wapple says he can't wait for his main course, and he has a hunch he knows where he can find him. Luffy then continues to climb up the castle's ledge, but almost trips and lets Sanji drop to the ground, but is able to catch him in time. It cuts back to Usopp asking Zolo why he was trying to train without a shirt. Zolo says true warriors fight with the fire inside of them as him and Usopp begin to argue. Vivi wonders if Nami's injuries were just stress related from dealing with, those two idiots. Is kind of what she says in her head. Vivi and crew make it back to the village as they notice people are all outside of their house from the avalanche. It turns out it's Wapple's crew threatening the village and saying that they will focus on the twerps. They say since Dalton's gone that they're toast. Zola shows up asking what's going on. They say Wapple's crew won't let them rescue Dalton, who's buried in the snow. Wapple's crew then says, not unless Wapple wants some cold cuts. Like a really stupid joke. Zola says he recognizes that name, as he was the captain that attacked their ship with the submarine. Zolo says all these guys are playing wrong and insists he's about to take them out as he attacks um, one of them and grabs their coats. They tell him that now he's going to get it, as Zolo says, if you mean more clothes, then that's fine. He then runs through and snatches their sword and prepares to take them out. We see him perform an attack called Hawkwave as everything goes to black and white, and we see all the crew members fall down almost in a silhouette. And then a couple more things here. Usopp says, "Good, just like I taught you," as the other villagers thank them for their help and start digging in the snow to find Dalton. Zola then asks what's the deal with this guy, as Usopp says he'll explain later, but for now let's help out.
So they definitely did change the dialogue a lot. So basically, so actually, the thing is, so Luffy is on his climb. His hands and his legs are getting visibly cold and frozen. Like I don't know if they pinked some of Luffy's hand in the
Yeah,
forecast
I
book.
mean you could tell that he was really struggling.
Yeah, and the thing is, like as he's climbing, he grabs his hand at one of the ledges and it bleeds,
Oh
and
yeah,
he
that
yells
didn't
out
happen.
"Ow!" Yeah, and that's why he lets go of Sanji,
Oh
which
okay.
is not. And then he immediately throws his head all the way down and grabs him,
Mhm.
and he continues the climb with again like his bare feet and bare hands, his feet and hands visibly getting more and more like frozen. But then yeah, we go back to the VB, Usopp, and Zoro, and so Zoro was explaining that the reason why he was like that was he went winter swimming, and then after he explains that,
So
like
that did happen, but he doesn't say that.
yeah, he doesn't say that it was like, oh, because warriors. No, he didn't say that. He
Yeah,
said he was just like winter swimming and like doing winter training
yeah.
and doing all of that. And so they're not really fighting after that. It's more so like Zoro was like, "Hey, Usopp, give me your jackets." Usopp's like, "No." He's like, "All right, fine. Give me your gloves." He's like, "No." Give me your feet. He's like, "No." And then Usopp's like, "You have to kind of like deal with the consequences of your actions or something." And like it was like pretty comical. And so obviously the three duo reach Bighorn, and they're kind of mentioned that like Dalton's buried under the snow, and the enemies are preventing the dig. And as he was saying that, he looks back and then he notices Zoro, the guy, the town person who was telling this to Zoro. He looks back at Zoro and he notices Zoro is like shirtless, and he's like, "Hey, why are you dressed like that?" And he doesn't like tell him. It was like this pretty comical thing, and then Zoro says, "Hey, I recognize those uniforms. They're the same uniforms that those guys who attacked our ship wore." And then he's like, "Hey, Usopp, those guys wore the same uniforms of the guys who attacked our ship, so they're enemies, right?" He's like, "Well, yeah. So like, we want to take them down, right?" He's like, "Well," and then Zoro comes in and smacks this one guy down, and then he wears his jacket. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this jacket. It feels all nice and warm now." And then yeah, then I think what you said pretty much he um, goes in and grabs all the like he as they're like about to attack him, he runs past them, grabs three swords, and then yeah does the hawk wave thing and takes them all down. And yeah, basically what you said. The rest was about the same. But yeah,
Okay.
some of the dialogue was like a little comical, more comical than what
Yeah, I
4K
don't know
was.
why they weren't arguing about the jacket because it would have made more sense why he grabs the jacket. But
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah, yeah.
uh,
I think part of the reason it was kind of weird that they didn't mention the jacket falling off, because like that was part of the reason why like Luffy's feet and hand were like getting cold because he doesn't have the warmth of the jacket. So um yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So it then cuts back to Luffy climbing up on the ledge as he loses grip again and starts free falling. He catches himself and starts feeling dizzy, but gains composure and starts climbing again. We notice the toll it's taking on Luffy's body, but he promises he won't give up. He then says he'll make it to the top no matter what, as we see he's nearing closer. He slowly inches his way to the very top and drops Sanji in the snow in front of the castle. Luffy says, "We're finally here." at the doctor's castle. Well, almost as he passes out. We then notice him start to slide down the peak as a big bear reaches out and grabs him, lifting him up. The bear appears to be Chopper, but in a different form. Chopper then says, "Tests show that the young woman has a number of viral antibodies, and her analysis determines that it is Castilla."
Yeah.
Um, the witch then says, "Let's make her well." We see Nami waking up in bed and noticing Chopper. She sits up and says, "What the?" as Chopper gets scared and hides. Nami says she's not going to hurt Chopper, whatever you are, and then the episode ends.
Okay. So a little change. So basically, after the scenes with Zoro, so you go back to Luffy, who's even more visibly frozen, and he starts to slide down the mountain, and like you see, like his legs, his feet and hands are just bleeding as he's like going down. So there's like as he's like going down, you see this like a stream of blood because of his like bloodied frozen hands just going down the mountain. Feels very weird to see it at the time. And he goes down the mountain with all his hands and feet blood everywhere, and then he was able to kind of eventually stop. And then he just kept the climb above and above and above, and finally he reached the top. And yeah, like you said, he throws Sanji and Nami down, and then like just when it looks like he was about to like fall off, Chopper in like that bear form grabs him, and then yeah, we wake up, and yeah, that's when yeah, pretty much same. Basically, Usopp and the doctor, Doctor. Well, he refers to him as Doctor Kureha, and he says, "Hey, Doctor Kureha, it looks like he has like a lot of like bacteria and antibiotics," and like then, yeah, so they start to get, so they start to do some work on them, and then Nami wakes up, and now Usopp is kind of small, and he shies, and he's like a bit shy of Nami, and he tries to hide, but the thing is, he hides backwards, where it's like his body is showing, but then his head's kind of tilted inside, and then yeah, I think that's also where the episode ends for me as well.
Gotcha. So, what were the two episodes again for your?
So this was actually just episode 83. It wasn't
Oh,
83
okay.
at all. It was just
Interesting.
83.
And
Yeah.
and what was the title?
The title of episode 83 is one second. I just had it too. It's the island where snow lives. Climb the Drum Rockies.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, that was it for this episode. I guess we'll. I'm guessing we'll find out more about Chopper in the next episode. We shall see.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
But yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back in hopefully 2 weeks. But yeah, thanks everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.